Hold up.
As you all know, I watch a lot of weird stuff. Lots and lots and lots. But I get the occasional email that recommends something I've never heard of. And that was the case for RONAL the Barbarian, a Danish film from 2011. The email that suggested this film said that it was an inappropriate kids movie, so I was immediately hooked. I was thinking of something along the same lines as Sir Billy, where they use bad words and have semi-sexual undertones. But, oh my god, was I wrong.
So what are you wearing tonight? I don't know, G-string? Maybe nothing? Great idea!
Within the first few minutes of the film, it became abundantly clear to me that RONAL the Barbarian was not a kids movie. Like, at all. That's like saying that Sausage Party is for kids because it was animated. So just to be safe, I looked up to see what the rating was for the film. Maybe it was for kids, but from a European point of view. Guess what? It's unrated!
And led them to victory.
With that bit of info, I was sold. Like, I had to know more, so I fully committed to it. The cussing, the crass jokes, the plot. This film is Danish, and it's not too often that I get to watch movies from Daneland. It's Denmark, you ignorant slut! Denmark. The only other animated film I've seen from this region is Help, I'm a Fish, which was pretty good. I might even review it in the future. They even have Alan Rickman in the movie.
It turns into pure energy.
According to my sources, there were a bunch of companies that helped in the production of RONAL the Barbarian, but the main one is Einstein Film. Outside of RONAL, there's only one other movie from the company, and it's called The Giant Pear. Okay. But from what I read, there were 3 guys who were in charge of RONAL the Barbarian. Oh god, I'm gonna screw this up. Here we go. Torbjorn Kristoffersen, Kristen Vesterberg Andersen, and Philip Einstein Lipsky. I suck. These 3 dudes have worked on animated projects before, such as Turkle in Trouble and Journey to Saturn. So this wasn't their first rodeo. It also wouldn't be their first time working on a dirty animated movie. I checked out a bit of their previous stuff, and RONAL's quite tame by comparison. A Twitter follower of mine actually said that the Danish version is even dirtier and features straight-up nudity, but I couldn't find it online. Probably for the best. There's no way that YouTube's gonna let me get away with that. Guess we'll have to go with the clean version here. Alright, so let's check out RONAL the Barbarian. The movie starts off with a narrator telling us about the rise of the barbarians. How their champion, Kron, defeated the demon named Zal, but it came at a high price, as Kron was mortally wounded and died, but not before allowing his people to drink of his blood.
And bared his strength.
Off the bat, you can tell that this movie does not give a damn about how dirty it is. Not one damn. But you gotta appreciate how self-aware it is too. Like, they immediately set the tone of what kind of film this is, and how over the top it's gonna be. It knows it's crass, it knows it's dumb, and I legit respect that. If you're gonna be a movie like this, own it. So we then fast forward to the timeline of our main character, and meet RONAL himself. A weak, scrawny member of the barbarian tribe who can't keep up with the others. Where have I heard that one before?
Why don't you just skip me? My elbow is hurting. Maybe I'm getting osteoporosis. Jerk off elbow?
We discover that RONAL isn't quite cut out for the barbarian lifestyle, despite pressure from his village chieftain.
You have to get in shape before going out on a quest, Ronal. A barbarian who can't swing a double-headed axe well, it's just not a real barbarian.
So another thing you'll notice is that this film is dubbed, hence why the lip sync is off. No big deal, just wanted to acknowledge that. We then meet another character from our D&D party, Alibert, the bard of the group. The guy looks like Jack Black from Brutal Legends. Just look at him.
Oh, does it have to be so perfect? Isn't it about time we went on a quest and join the barbarians tomorrow and get in on all the action? Look at me. I really need to meet some chicks, man.
Alibert is the sex-hungry guy of the group, which typically those kind of characters get on my nerves. Like, I don't find that stuff charming, but it actually pays off later in the movie. But up to that point, he's very annoying.
Howdy, girls. How about washing my massive, rock-hard, filthy, dirty, four-stringed lute?
So the barbarians have a big party and get drunk and high and talk about killing children. I'm not joking.
So I went hunting the other day, right? And just happened to run into an orc kindergarten. Cute kids. Here you go, sugar. This is for you.
But they party so hard that they can't hear the alarm when the enemy army attacks, led by Colonel S&M himself. Okay. The barbarians couldn't fight back and were captured. All except for RONAL and Alibert.
Get the last ones locked up. That's it. Come on, hurry up. Get the pigs in the cart.
And so begins the main quest of the movie. Uncle Chieftain told RONAL with his dying breath to go seek out the Oracle and go save the barbarians.
Promise me something. That you'll save the others. They're counting on you, RONAL.
What? But I can't.
Promise me.
But...
You must go north to the Oracle.
So RONAL and Alibert meet the Oracle. And, is this guy gross?
Wait. I mean, Gundar sent me.
All right, that's it. I'm done shitting. Now get to wiping.
The Oracle tells RONAL that his foe is named Volkazar, and that he's responsible for capturing the barbarians, and that RONAL needs to find Krone's ancient sword if he wants to defeat him.
Only that sword can hurt Lord Volkazar, and you will never save your tribe without killing him first.
I can't.
Only a fearless warrior will be able to use Kron's sword. And without a great warrior, Volkazar is invincible.
We then meet Volkazar, who looks a hell of a lot like Darth Vader. I'm pretty sure that was deliberate. We discover that he's rounding up all of the barbarians so that he can take their blood and summon Lord Zal. But he's missing one, RONAL.
I need the blood of every living barbarian, and you go and let one escape.
I can't explain.
Bring him to me
now! We cut back to RONAL and Alibert. And they get ambushed by a warrior girl named Xandra.
No, wait! Stop!
We learn that Xandra wants in on the quest to save the barbarians, and she knows where to go to find the sword. But in order to get there, their party needs a guide.
Where are you going? To the Elven Tower. We just have to figure out where it is first.
I think we'll need a guide. There's probably one in the next town. Follow me.
Hey, wait, you can't just take over
Do you have a problem with that?
Listen. No.
Really, though, this movie does feel like a D&D campaign. Warrior, bard, weaker warrior. All we need now is a ranger.
Oh! The wind tells me to go with you. My bow will sing with your sword. I'm ready.
Ah, there you go.
We're going to the Elven Tower. I don't have a lot of gold, but...
The wind will tell me what to do with you. Stand still. Let me penetrate your aura.
Hold up.
Yeah, right? I get major Xander vibes from this character. You know, the guy from Drawn Together.
Xander, look around you. Everything the light touches is gay.
This kind of concerned me at first, 'cause Xander is gay joke after gay joke. But they don't really do that here. I mean, yeah, Elric is feminine, but it works with his character and doesn't come across as insulting. Well, too insulting. So the party has their guide and escape the clutches of the bad guys. We then arrive to the Elven Kingdom, the place that hides a secret of where Kron's sword is kept. But there's a catch. The elves will kill any of them on sight.
No one from the outside can enter. The Elf King's archers have hawk's eyes. Shit. They kill everything they see.
Fortunately for Ronal, he has an invisibility potion. But, not enough for his balls.
What the fuck is so funny?
You missed a spot.
What? What? It's fucking empty? Ah, thanks a lot, Gorak.
Yo, relax, Ronal. No one will notice those tiny balls.
So there's this running theme in the movie that it doesn't matter how big a barbarian's muscles are. What's important are the size of their metaphorical balls. We then literally see the balls go into action with one of the most painful sequences I've ever seen animated. Oh my god, kill me. So the party knows where the sword is now, and head off to the Mountain of Eternity. But not before getting a little backstory about Xandra. According to her people's tradition, if she wants to be married, she has to be defeated by said person in combat. But, unfortunately for her, she's too strong.
Many have tried to defeat me. But I was too strong, and with every new duel, I grew stronger and stronger.
So now she's seeking out an opponent who can best her in a fight. And whoever does becomes her master?
If somebody defeats me, I have to obey his every wish. But no warrior has been strong enough yet.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about this plot point. Xandra doesn't seem like the kind of character to bend the knee so easily. But I guess that's what she wants. To find somebody who can beat her and boss her around. To be fair, the movie does use this plot to advance the story later on, and it somewhat works out. You'll see in a bit. But oh no! The bad guys try to capture Ronal, but accidentally get Xandra instead.
I told you no one defies Lord Balthasar's spiders unpunished!
Ronal and Alibert escape, but get captured by Amazons.
Oh, what is that? Oh, is that a fanny pack?
When you hear the word Amazons, you probably think of a couple of things. Wonder Woman, strong warrior ladies who can kick your ass, a society of women who exist without men. Well, part of that is true in this movie. The ladies here are far from warlike, and instead double down on the girl stuff. Like, big time.
Oh my god, you hit it, you silly bitch! So what are you wearing tonight? I don't know, G-string? Maybe nothing? Great idea!
Yeah, I don't know, guys. It's... here we are. Oh, man, this movie. The Amazonians learn that these two are guys and go full-on snoo-snoo on their asses.
The gods have answered our prayers and sent us two men! Finally, the time has come to carry on our tribe.
The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
Ronal isn't really on board, which makes this kind of rapey. Yuck. But Alibert gets put aside for later to his dismay.
We'll use the skinny one first. Save the other one for tomorrow. What? Help! Help! Let me go! Come on, man. This is just not fair. I want to get fucked too.
We then cut back to Xandra, who gets defeated in combat by Volkazar. So, yeah, that's where this plot point comes into play. She's now, by her own stupid tradition, obligated to obey the bad guy.
I know your rules, Shield Maiden. You must obey me now!
Ugh, so dumb! We then go back to Ronal and Alibert, who are having a big fight over what to do. Ronal wants to escape, so they can go rescue Xandra. but Albert wants to stay and get laid. Like, this scenario is literally his dream.
Screw you! I want to stay here and get laid by some really hot babes. That's the only reason I joined you on your lousy quest. Oh, I forgot. You're not on a quest. You're more boring than a yeast infection.
Fine, then stay here.
So they part ways, but Albert starts to feel bad for abandoning his friend. He even gets full-on tempted by the Amazonian queen, but still turns her down so he can go help out RONAL.
I find you very sexy, Miss Queen, but my friend needs me and I have to go.
What?
I gotta say, I appreciate Albert's story arc here. I was prepared to hate this guy for his crude sexual appetite, but he proved to be more than that. Color me surprised. So we cut back to RONAL, who finds a sword on his own, but he gets captured by the bad guys and betrayed by Xandra.
Now go!
Xandra!
You little barbarian, have a date with my sorcerer.
We then see Albert reunite with Elric, and they set off to go rescue RONAL. In Lord of the Rings fashion, they sneak into the bad guy's lair. But it was too late. Lord Zal was summoned and possesses the body of Volkazar.
Darkness will rise in Megaronia!
Shit starts to really hit the fan, but the barbarians break free and battle ensues. Again, this is like a D&D campaign. It's like the final boss encounter. Well, in a way. Fortunately, Zal has a weak point, a la Shadow of the Colossus, and RONAL tries to stab the demon in the forehead.
Kron Saga! Kron, he pulled his mighty sword and thrust with all his strength. The sword into Zakiti's skull, which cracked along its length.
What?
You have to hit him in the forehead with Kron's sword. It's his weak point, man.
The fight really isn't going their way, but Xandra comes to her senses and helps out RONAL.
Ow! What are you doing, Shield Maiden? Your destiny is to serve me!
No! It's over!
Really?
With Kron's legendary sword in hand, RONAL stabs Lord Zal and defeats him.
What the fuck?
And defeats him. We then get our typical trope of, oh no, the main character is dead, but not really.
What are you staring at?
RONAL comes back to life, smooches Xandra, and then we get the single most cringy line in the entire movie.
We don't have to fight in a duel now, do we?
No. You've already conquered my heart, RONAL.
And to this movie's credit, they know it too.
Oh, this is cheesy.
With that, we cut back to the village, get our happy ending, and the movie is over.
Sir RONAL, the ballsiest barbarian!
Cheers!
You still drink like a pussy!
Fucking barbarians!
All right, let's go over my 5 points. First, the story. I went into this movie thinking it would be crass, stupid, and vulgar, to which it was. But it also had some heart and a level of self-awareness that allowed me to enjoy it. It knew that it was silly and over the top, and they owned it. It's essentially a dirty version of How to Train Your Dragon.
But I can't get over the fact that you can seriously die from questing!
I'll just shut up and train, idiot!
The characters turned out to be more than I anticipated. I thought Elric would be just relentless gay jokes, that Albert was just a sex-driven fiend, and that Xandra was a tough girl who just wanted a guy to love. Well, that happened, but they wrote the characters in a way where they all actually work. What I thought would be story pitfalls were actually addressed, and were used in a way to progress the plot. Again, it's not perfect, and there's more crass humor than I care for, but for what it's worth, it holds up.
Great ass, buddy.
Don't touch me.
Next, there's the voice acting. The voice acting was fine. Nothing god tier, but enough to get the job done.
Since we're heading north, why don't we visit the Amazons along the way?
No.
I hear the chicks up there are totally drool. We gotta check it out, man.
After that, there's the dialogue. There were some pretty healthy interactions in this movie. RONAL and Albert while they were captured, Xandra and RONAL at the campfire. The characters were properly fleshed out to make the story and their interactions interesting.
I've never told anyone this before.
Oh, I see.
It feels kinda nice.
Next, the editing. It was fine. I couldn't really hear too many generic sounds, so that's appreciated. All that really matters, though, was that I was able to hear and see what I was supposed to hear and see. Also, since this movie is so hammed up, they were able to match that same tone with the edits.
Kron, warrior above all warriors, and bearer of the god's sword.
And finally, the animation. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care for the character designs when I first saw them. They looked lackluster and cheap, and looked more like an in-game cutscene from some video game. But after a while, like many aspects of this movie, it grew on me. The over-the-top, sexualized designs of the guys and girls worked in their favor. These are macho barbarians, hence the big muscles and plot. It was to drive home a point and create a contrast to RONAL. Again, some of these designs are definitely vulgar, but the movie knows that and uses it. The setting itself is pretty basic, but somewhat stylized. The movement of the characters are solid as well, and get the job done. At the end of the day, that's where I find myself with this movie. Average, with a crude but surprisingly endearing story. So, how would I improve the movie? Honestly, I wouldn't change much at all. Visually, I think that some of the faces of the characters look weird with their bodies, like Xandra's, but it's forgivable, and even has a certain stylized charm to it. The story and the characters hold up too, which was very surprising. I was expecting to hate most of these characters, but I somewhat like them. The only thing I would really change is toning down the sexism. It's weird because I don't know if they use it to tell a story, or if they use it just for jokes and that's it. Like, the Amazonians are insultingly feminine, but again, I'm unsure if that was to get a point across. To be silly with something that's the complete opposite of what you would expect. God help me, this movie. Like, Xandra's rule about obeying the guy who defeats her is stupid, but they use that for a plot device. A big old plot device. Okay, that's the last time I'm making that joke, I promise. Overall, I like this movie. I don't love it, but it's one of the better films I've checked out on my channel. Like I've stated, I don't typically go for super crass stuff that goes overboard with the adult humor, but it somewhat works here, and I respect that. I'm gonna have to keep my eye on you, Denmark. Maybe you guys have some other films I can check.
You gave me crabs again, and now my nuts are on fire.
I'm not trying to be gross or nothing. Your mom has great tits.
You're too ugly for me and your mom's trailer trash.
I once had my nipples pierced.
Oh no. No.